What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Live Composing Show. This is Stephen Melin. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, I'm really excited today because we are bringing back the Level Up live show as part of the Live Composing Show, kind of a sub-show, if you will. This is a show I used to do about 2 to 3 years ago, where I would have composers deliver their stems, their final mixes, and the MIDI tracks for their tracks. And then I would open it up, all the files inside my DAW, and then I would work on it during our live stream time together over, 2 to 3 hours. And by the end, completely rebuild the track from the ground up, sometimes using the stems, sometimes using the MIDI, and then using my own sample libraries, my own plugins, my own experience to help level up the track. Because sometimes it just takes an outside source, someone who's been in the industry a while, to kind of understand the ins and outs of the mixing, the production, kind of what sample instruments work, what doesn't work, and for the style and all that stuff. And sometimes that's just one of the best ways to learn, is to have someone else work on your stuff. And this has helped lots of composers in the past, and I'm really excited to bring this back. So today we're kicking it off. We have Carson Peters in the chat. His name is ReOST. What's up, Carson? Say hey. We got lots of people hanging out in the chat today. So glad you guys are here. And so what we're going to be doing over the next couple hours or so is I have all those stems and such delivered from Carson, and we're working on his track Kingdom's Requiem, which is kind of an orchestral epic track. And if I remember correctly, it was inspired by Zelda. And I immediately hear the Hyrule Castle from Breath of the Wild as an influence. I'm sure there's some other influences there as well, but I'm really excited to just jump into this thing and do it and have some fun with you guys, kind of getting, wiping the cobwebs off of this style of producing other people's tracks. And by the end, I think we're going to have something quite different, but in a good way. And my hope is for Carson to be able to use these final mixes that I put together today in his own reel, because it's his music. Why the heck not? We sometimes pay producers and mixers and mastering engineers to help make our stuff better. It's still his at the end of the day. So I hope that he takes it and uses it and goes and gets some gigs, honestly. And as we jump in here, what's up, Michael, Melin, Matt, Carson, of course, Sarah, Zach, Jordan. The gang is here, and this is going to be a lot of fun today. So let me start today by jumping into my Nuendo session here, and I just want to play before we get into all the fancy fants. Let's make sure my audio is all crisp and running. And all I have so far is on my master channel, I just have a limiter, which limits the outgoing volume to negative 0.3 dB. It just means that if for whatever reason something peaked, it would not go beyond that point. So let's play what we have so far. I don't want to get any of my stuff in here. And Carson has actually worked on 2 mixes. The first one is directly from Muse score. I think he'd rather me play the Reaper mix because he actually took some time to mix it. But just so you can hear the difference, the Muse score is going to be all the MIDI info. Here's just, 10 seconds of the Muse score version. All right, pretty solid. And then here is the mixed version where my understanding is that Carson exported all of the MIDI tracks as audio stems, as you can see them down here, and then threw them into his own DAW, Reaper, and then mixed them to try to make it the best he can. And here's what that sounds like. I'm actually going to play the whole thing. It's about 2 minutes, a little bit under 2 minutes. It's a loop. That's why it starts with the reverb tail. And that's one of the first things we're actually going to address today. So we don't have that happening. But anyway, let's just listen through to Kingdom's Requiem and kind of get an idea for what we're working on here today. All right, and from there, it loops. All right, well, first of all, great work on this so far, Carson. I'm really pumped to work on this. Number one, because it's a really good track, meaning it's a great composition. And I think you have a very clear idea orchestrally where you want to go with this. But also, the second reason I think it's really interesting is you have very distinct sections in here, specifically like that last section, which is those really cool solo woodwind lines. Just a lot of character. And I really think that this is going to be really special when we're all said and done. So I'm going to work fast today, but if you have questions throughout this process, by all means, ask. Use the live chat. That's what it's here for. If you have any feedback, if you're like, hey, whoa, I don't like that, then, steer me away. But I'm going to just kind of use my intuition here, just the experience I have in the video game industry to really try to make this shine in the way that I think you're trying to make it shine, which I think, as we even said in the live chat, Zelda, Hyrule Castle, it's kind of the vibe we're going for here. So let's see if we can do it. So the first thing that my ears hear is this second mix is very compressed. You can even look at the waveform and see it. Notice how it's like pretty squished all the way throughout. We have a little bit of dynamic range, but not really. And even like right here, it all of a sudden gets really loud, but not in a good way. It's like all the highs are screaming at us while all the mids and lows are kind of missing out. And in that sense, it's not balanced. So that's one of the big things we're going to address here today. We're also going to address the fact that the quality of the samples is not great. It feels very amateur, and I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement here. Not only in the sample instrument choice, but also in the dynamics of the instruments. Right now, it's extremely stagnant. It's very linear. It's very lifeless. It feels like everything is like a 3 out of 5 intensity, and it just kind of stays there. It doesn't really go anywhere. Musically, great. Composition, great. But that's why we're here today, is to work on the production. So here's how I'm going to organize this. I like to do things in sections. So let's first of all make sure, yep, my section markers are checked here. I'm going to start labeling. Just for my ears, I actually prefer the first mix. I think it's a lot cleaner. I don't like that this starts in the middle of a bar. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe for the second loop, that would make sense. Like we're starting on like a not the 1, but like the 4. Kind of have mixed feelings about this. It almost feels like an outro. I feel like this is the actual start, don't you? Let me just make some notes. This is effectively the A section. 16 bars, right? Or 8 bars because we're going half that speed. I forgot we're at 70 BPM. And this is kind of our main thing. Very memorable. I like this. This is our C. Oh, okay. So that's just really interesting that you chose to chop it up this way. So correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna get rid of the second mix. I don't like it very much. It sounds like this is what you intended, right? To take this here, this goes here, right? Yeah, that's what it sounds like you cut it to do. That makes a whole lot more sense. I'm just kind of shocked it wasn't already chopped that way. But anyway. But this is still the intro. So very long intro. So my first thought is, oh, okay. So you just chopped it up. My brain's working hard here. Okay. Okay, there's the A, and that would make this the B. That's the C. Okay. Now we're in business. Okay. I can live with this. Okay. So now I just got to make the stems and the MIDI do the same. Might be a little bit tricky, but essentially all we did was we chopped. Let me, before we make a massive mistake here, I'm going to make sure that everything in my MIDI is following suit. So your MIDI does do it correctly. See, it's already fixed. Yeah. It just confirmed what I was assuming. Now it sounds like a PlayStation 1. General MIDI. Slightly higher than Super Nintendo. Cool. Now let's check the stems just to verify that everything is as it should be. Sounds like it. What's curious is your stems must be from like a third mix because they sound completely different, even in their orchestration, than mix number 1. But that's okay. This is just the stems. All right. Now we can work because everything is locked in. It's really important before you do any kind of mixing that your timings are locked in. Otherwise, you're going to have a world of trouble later on. And while I'm thinking about it, even though I may never use this function, something I like to do within Nuendo is to make sure that every track is this little button right here. It's called musical versus linear toggling. By default, they should be the little music icon, but notice how some of them weren't. That's important because if I tempo change anything at any point, not that I plan to, but if I tempo change at all, the ones that are not will not tempo change. It's a setting you can change within Cubase and Nuendo. By default, you can make them all musical by default, but I've run into problems where when I do that and I start working with videos, it actually really screws up things, or like when I'm working with different sample rates and stuff, it can become a huge problem. So I understand why they added that feature as not the default. But I've just done this enough times to know that if I don't toggle that to start, I'm going to be in a world of trouble later if I change anything time-wise. Anyway, cool. So here's my first inclination. I think we should build from the ground up by, first and foremost, let's actually, I'm going to hide the mix. I'm going to hide the stems. And we'll probably get some of the stems back later. I basically want to work with the MIDI because I want to see what we can do from the ground up to really try to make this sing, to really focus on the most important parts that I'm hearing, and really go from there. So unfortunately, this is the most time-consuming part of this process, but it's also one of the most important. It's the choosing of the instruments to really help make things shine. And every track's different, so there really is not a template here that I would want to use. So a couple things I'm seeing are some doubles. So let me actually open up the whole screen here. I'm seeing some doubles. So like it says pipe organ, there's 3 of them for some reason. I don't know if that's accurate. So let's actually clean that up. It's definitely a pipe organ. Okay. That's cool. That is going to be a massive issue later because it's clogging up so much space. It's a cool sound, but it's way too much. So let's see what we can do. What's up, Devin? Basically trying to see what we can live without. I think there's a world where we combine these into one patch. So let's start there, yeah? So let's grab a new instrument. I'm gonna grab Toccata. So this is just, we'll call it pipe organ. This is my favorite pipe organ. It's from Sonokinetic. I think it's the coolest sounding pipe organ ever. Oops. Let's see what we can do with that, even just like out of the box. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to take these 3, use a little shortcut here to grab all of them. And then we're going to combine them all together like this. And then let's see what that feels like. First off, it doesn't even like that note. So I'll start working with some velocities. I feel like the organ's going to play a really big role in this today, so let's go ahead and drag those way down. Orochimaru. Yeah. Why is that so strong? I wonder if it's you have MIDI volume. You might. I don't want to mess with that. It's just loud, so we're just going to go over here to the inspector. There it goes. Let's drag that way down. Don't love a drone organ, but we'll see. These low drones are just going to get absolutely muddy. So I'm just going to go through and get rid of all of the low drones until the end. I'm wondering if, because this is out of range, I'm wondering if there's a world where this would be helpful to go up an octave. So let's do bum bum. I'm trying to keep the organ in range. You had some notes that were out of range. just make this a chord note. I love the triplets. Hold that out longer. Cool. Bass is getting really, really thick, which it's a cool sound. It's just going to overpower if we're not careful. So that's for the organ. Especially here. Does the rest of the orchestra stop there? I feel like we need to finish the... I don't know if we're doing Dorian mode or not, but I don't want to assume. Let's stay in the key here. Da, 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 just to continue the arpeggio. Let's get a little bit more drama here with a little gap. Cool. There's a lot of good stuff going on here. All right, I feel like the organ's good. So I'll start deleting these as we go. And maybe just start slapping them up here so it's not caught in the MIDI folder. Cool. And here's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to go ahead and label all of the MIDI as a color so we don't accidentally think it's, you know, the instrument channel, whatever. Okay, what else is like a really key part here? Probably the piano. So same thing. It looks like you did a lot of doubling with the piano and the grand. So let's, and the, you know what I mean? The lower and the higher, like I did with the organ. So let's find a grand piano that's really going to match. Let's just say piano. I think I want the palette piano. It's my favorite for orchestral writing because it already has the, you know, the orchestral hall baked in. It's this one right here. It's kind of unassuming. Very anime. I feel like that's gonna, like, already, just based on these mic positions, it's already gonna feel good. So let's grab this grand piano. bit here. Let's put it in. Now, of course, this is not going to fly. Just a simple. So here's what I'm going to do instead. What is it? So what I'm doing is it's called octave displacement. It's where I take this motif, right? So we're doing the boom, bum, oops. So C, G, E flat, D. That's what it is, right? But to keep it from being uninteresting, I'm going to hold the pedal each time. But I'm also going to add, I liked how you added the octave on top. But instead of always staying there, why don't we try... So I'm doing the octave, I'm going bum, high, low, high, every other. That might just be an interesting way to keep it keep the musicality. And you do it for a while. Then you change it. So that's where we change the chord. So I'll go ahead and put that here. That's actually an A flat. And then, everything else was a C minor. And that's a G7. Cool, I love the chords. There's really not a quick way. Not too much of a quick way to get all this in without playing it. So, but since this is like the main part, I think we should take the time. So. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep your grand piano there as like a template to look at, but then where's my little button? There's a little button here you can actually take. See this? I'm going to actually shove it up top on my top screen so I can look at it while playing. That way it's nice and big. In the meantime, I can actually just play. It's like a nice way of visually following along. Here we go. I'm going to turn my click on real quick and get recording. I don't know the rest of the notes, but I wanted to at least get the idea there. Let's take a look. Nah, I don't need sheet music. Thanks. I just need to know what I'm doing. It's not much more. Let's get that done. I can still do the C's. just gotta change my octaves. Like that. I might employ the use of my big keyboard for a second. Come on, turn on. Turn on, please. Here it is. So it goes like this. That's the right way of doing it. It's just it's a very pianistic thing. I can't do it on a little keyboard. This might be the one, the one part where I just copy it. All right, cool. Let's do that. Just to save time. But essentially, I just want to make sure that this all looks and feels. So here's a quick hack. I'm going to take every other note like this and change the velocity to match what we've been doing. So it's going to be strong, weak, 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 strong, weak, 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 right? And then in the pedal, I'm actually just going to record the pedal myself. I'm literally going to play it right now. It's a MIDI controller. So that's what I just did right here in my sustain. You can see it now. There's only one that screwed up because, you know, the merge. But that's basically it. I feel like these were a little bit too weak comparatively, but I'm trying to match basically the shape from before. If you don't want to play it in, you could always do that. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh, I messed that one up. Cool. Now, this next part keeps going. I'm actually happy to use all of that. So let's go ahead and kill the old grand piano there. Drag him down. Ya ya da ya da na 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 na. I really like that chord. The diminished chords, very Zelda-esque, very Japanese. Come on, I want my gray color back. Give it back. Oh, because I know why. That's why. Okay, cool. Ya 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 da. Let's focus on piano. So same thing. I'm gonna go back in here and add pedals manually. Here we go. You can see it going in. Basically every bar That shall do. So we use a little bit of motion because when you play piano, like these big guys right here, it shouldn't be exactly the same. It should be strong, strong, weak, strong, like that. Dun, da, da, dum. So I'm gonna select all the weak ones. Bum, bum, ba, da, da, dun, da, da, dum, da, weak, bum, dum, bum, bum, bum. So let's start there. All of those I'm gonna make weaker. Give more musicality. I actually feel like all of this should be louder anyway. The melody. But I think it, oh, I didn't even do my changes. That's weird. Hold on. Maybe I undid it on accident, but yeah, I'm trying to take all the weak notes, which are, you know, the off beats like this, drag them down, but then I take everything, all the melody, and drag it all up. Now, you see the curve down there? That's what I'm going for. Just a whole lot more dynamics. Now, what's also been made apparent is the entirety of the piano bass should all be raised. Maybe take everything and lower it. There we go. That's a nice... All right, let's copy that note. Cool. So far, so good. Now the big thing is going to be combining the organ and the piano to make them sound like they're supposed to be together. Know if I like the organ actually. Here's what I'd rather do. I'd rather take the organ note and grab, it looks like you're already sort of doing it. This is tricky. It's almost like we have to get the, this is part of the issue, is the orchestration. Let's get the cellos. What do I want to use? I don't always use adagietto, but I feel like it's the right answer today. We just need a clean sound. Just the cello ensemble. Let's get cellos. Whoops. Let's go ahead and do legatos. So cello, legato. I might switch to TSS, but for now I feel like this is the most straightforward. Let's compare, shall we? Let's just see which one works better. Tokyo! I think this is actually maybe the perfect time to use Tokyo because of the Japanese style. Fine. Micah wins. Like that needs to do what you're trying to do with the pipe organ. That way it's not too intense. Because we still need the... that might be the way to go. I kind of feel like... Darn. Let me do an experiment. I feel like we're just going to have to grab my low strings from... what is this called? Orchestral Tools. the Metropolis arc. I don't know of anything better than this for legato low strings doubled. So this would be low strings, legato, and that's Metropolis arc. Yeah, I'm still in 1.0. I haven't tried 2.0. Might be too much, but let's just try. Let's keep experimenting. The problem is there's too much going on in the low register, as is. We have to clean it up. Otherwise, it just won't work. So let's try the same strings, but let's grab spiccato. Boom, boom. And maybe even pizzicato might be the answer. And then let's also try pizzicato, just in case that is the answer instead. That might give us the round edge we're actually looking for. These are the little details that are going to make a big difference. I don't even know if they have pizzicato in that. Might have to go elsewhere. Yeah, let's grab back to Adagietto and just grab their global patch here. This is from 8DO, by the way. Super duper cheap. Probably get it for like 20 bucks. That's a little bit more menacing. That might actually work a whole lot better to still get the edge we're looking for. Let's start with that. Maybe that's more interesting. What do you think, Mr. Composer Man? Keeps it circular. So for now, let's keep that, and then we'll keep going with the this style. Maybe only until right here will be good spots. If this would do better. Basically, if we take each of these, piano almost only works because it's distant. The alternative would be to take all of this. Let's see what it sounds like as low strings, short instead. That's also pretty cool. Kind of depends. Are we sneaking into Hyrule Castle? But I actually think if I'm going to do that, to keep it... keep this accurate. Let's actually do... what's it called? Helix would be a better choice for that, which is a free strings library, by the way. Everyone should go grab it right now. It's from Orchestral Tools using the Sign Player. I use this thing a lot, actually. I don't care that it's free. It's phenomenal because it has very, very even spiccatos. Not bad. Oh no, I got rid of all my organ. No. Well, wasn't it all the same as piano? I hate to be that guy. Okay, so far so good. I'm honestly thinking that the organ we should limit. Still have it, but I think it adds so much epicness to it all. We also have woodwinds that you use throughout this. So let's get the bassoon and contra bassoon. Looks like it's the same line, isn't it? Or are they an octave apart? Yeah, they're an octave apart. So let's take this bassoon line. Find him a new home. We'll just call it bassoons. Yadum, ba-yadum, boom. Solo that guy. So I'm feeling for this. I don't use this a lot, but this might be a really cool instance to just use a doubled woodwinds. Because that's kind of what you're going for, is this maybe a contrabass clarinet, bass clarinet. Like you're going for... Actually, just type it in. Does your trackball get dusty or dirty? Yes, yes it does. You gotta clean it. Yeah, yeah, da, dum, da, dum. Let's try this. Let's try combining contrabassoons with bass clarinet. Nice octave going on there. If you don't like it, tell me. I'm gonna double what we're doing in the pits strings. The only difference is I can't add the lower octave. Also, I'm not trying to like screw with your mix here, but I also see that you have contra basses, which is what we were doing earlier. We have contra bassoon and bassoon. So it sounds like you're going for octaves. I can try the lighter approach. I mean, I'm really not trying to like rearrange your track here. Let's try, I'm gonna call it low winds. Maybe we can get a little more accuracy here by just adding those single instruments like you had it, a smaller ensemble. So maybe a better approach here would be using this guy. No, that's only gonna be bassoons. Let's do da 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 da. Contra, and maybe we can add a couple bassoons from here. Keep it balanced, but we'll make everything staccato. Like that sound, I think it's a pretty good combo. little repetitive, so we gotta watch out for that. And that's where I will copy the piano part, because that one does a good job of keeping the octaves clean. Hold on. Hit some key switches. Might be best to... All right. There we go. So it's just getting too low here. All right. So all of this here, keep them short. Right now, still just trying to get the notes in here, make it all work to match your vision. You might want to consider, if this is an intro 1, intro 2, having the, just so it's not so repetitive. Notice I'm starting with pits and piano. And the second part could be, you know, the short strings mixed with winds. Always more interesting. Let's get to some more fun stuff. Yeah, I told you that was the boring part. So I noticed we have some horn parts here. This is going to be interesting because they're not really solo-esque. I think we'll be fine. First and foremost, do any of these double? No, those do not double. Make sure that they're 4 distinct parts. Cool. Good horn writing. Really, really good horn writing. I'm going to put them all together because I'm crazy like that. The only thing is these might not play nicely together. So it might... Let me change my mind. I'm going to make 2 stacks. Do 1 and 2s. And then like this. I gotta split these up here. Because what I want to use is a polyphonic horn patch. Okay, so 2 harmonies, 2 harmonies, 2, 2, 2, like that. So essentially, I'm trying to make 2 stacks of 2 so that when I create these new guys, I'll create them down here. Let's just say horns 1, 2. And this is an 8DO patch I've really come to love, and it is the new Century Ensemble Brass. They have horns. I'll specifically do maybe 2 horns each. And they have a chordal legato patch. That way we can keep it, you know, feeling like 4 horns and not 12. It doesn't need to be insane. So, I want to keep the tone low. So I'm going to boost volume, not the mod wheel. So that's be horns 1, 2. Same thing for horns 3, 4. 3 and 4 will likely be quieter. So I'm just going to draw their pullback right there. Just a little bit, like 3 dB. And then let's take these 2 lines you've written. Hopefully I didn't kill them completely. Ah, why do I do this to myself? Kidding me? Jeez. All right, hold on. I don't want to undo all of my horn stuff. Silly, silly, silly. Let me import the MIDI again. Ah! Why? Why? Let me find it real quick. I know this is not the fun part, but it is the necessary part. Let me grab that MIDI file again. There we go. And I'll nix it once I get what I need out of it. What I need is the horns. Ugh, just did all that work. Lame. That's what I get for moving too quickly sometimes. There it is. There we are. There's my 2 horn lines. I just wanted to separate them like that specifically. Okay. Now let's put them back up. There we go. That should solve it. And while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and grab the redo of the pipe organ that I completely destroyed. This part. From earlier. There it is. Oh, but there's more. Interesting. No, there's not. It just goes right there. Hooray! Because of all the chopping up earlier. Excellent. Okay. Totally talking to myself right now. There we go. Boom. Shakalaka. Let's chest my pipe organ. That's better. And then the main event here is to get these horns working. So I'm gonna just focus on those for right now. Yeah, these are very high for horns. Was that intended? That's like trumpet territory. Interesting. Maybe it's supposed to be trumpets? Let's play with that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my mod wheel here. Muse score lets me play then. Yeah, so first thing I'm adding is some dynamics there. An important thing to consider is is it humanly possible? Yes, but will it sound good? Probably not. So, got to be careful there. Let me grab some trumpets. Legato chords is what they are. So let's go to the same patch here. I'll do the twos. Legato chordal. Really cool patch. I really like the scripting on this because it means that I can play two notes polyphonically. Do, 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 do. And these are really nice trumpets. Oops, not soloed. So good. So I gotta be careful. Something I have to do here because of this specific type of instrument is make sure my main volume, because it looks like your MIDI data here, because of Muse Score, it auto exported the volume. And what this does is inside the instrument, you'll see it right here. See my volume right there? It actually causes it to go up and down. So what that means is it's actually going to be by default negative 6 dB, which is super annoying. But now we have to deal with it. So what that means is over here, there might be a better fix for this, but for our purposes, I'm going to make right here gain +6, just to combat that on those particular patches. I'd rather not have any MIDI volume, but it's good. It's going to resort back to that. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy it down and grab I just feel like this is a trumpet line, plain and simple, because it's so high. And we'll keep the horns on the bottom. May not even need to use the gain because they're so loud. Because it's so loud, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my this mod wheel thing that I played and just drag the whole thing down so it never gets to those fortissimos. That way it only gets to about forte. Next thing we need to do is give breaths to all of these guys. They have no breaths at the moment. Musically, I would do it here for an 8th note. That way it's one full breath for the up and the down. The hairpins, if you will, if you're a performer. You know what that means. It's the crescendo, decrescendo. I may just go ahead and throw all of these in here. I'm just gonna say horns, legato, chords, get them all in there. So same thing. Let's get the mod wheel a little bit tamed down so it's not so loud when it gets loud. Sounds nice so far, but the one huge thing missing is we have no reverb. So let's go here. I've already have an Aether preloaded, which is the hall reverb set to 100%. Let's do like, because it's brass, like -25 as a starting point. Just to give it some life. Oh, and I know you don't have this. Nobody else has this. This is my own custom thing. Whenever I do sample libraries now that are meant to sound like they're real, I'm going to use a little bit of the Tom Studio that I've used from my live recordings. Just to give it a little bit of shine. You'll hear it. Hear that? It's subtle, but then I'll throw it into the fake hall. Even less now. Micah, no spamming, please. This is gonna be so cool, man, when it's done. These are still too loud. So let's do this. Like, tonally, timbre wise, it's just because of the mod wheel. Like, I really got to keep this mod wheel tamed down, especially the trumpet, like this. Keep it distant. I'm gonna replay this because I don't know why that mod wheel is just being so sensitive. Let's do it again. Here we go. Giving it pretty light. There we go. That's a little bit better. I haven't done much yet, but I do like it. I want to make sure this bassoon gets in there because it's a really pretty line, and that should, I think. So this is going to be. I have my low winds here. They're going to be low winds short. So let's now do another one. I'm actually just going to copy it. Let's call it bassoons legato. And it's just going to be these guys here, but it's specifically going to be. It's a very like Elder Scrolls kind of line, which I like. I really like. This will really shine, I think. So same thing, we gotta have some breaths here. Da, 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 da. real player would do probably a 16th rest right there. Da -da, same thing, 8th rest. Da -da -da -da, da -da, da -da, da, 8th rest. Da -da -da -da, 8th rest. That's the quickest way to make things sound more realistic with woodwinds and brass is to give some brass. Da -da 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 -da, ba -da -da -da. If it's the end of a phrase, great, go all the way to the bar line, but otherwise, you gotta have some breaths. I don't want to, again, I don't want to like overwrite your piece here, but I think this would sound better an octave higher in the bassoons. With some dynamics. Crescendo, like that. Hope that recorded. Did that record? Yeah, it did. Okay. The other thing is, because I'm doing a legato patch now, I'm actually going to make everything, except for the last note, slightly longer for the purpose of the aftertouch, which is a MIDI scripting thing. The only exception is notes that are the same, which unfortunately you do a lot here. So I have to be very particular about which notes I do it on. So it's super annoying programming stuff, but listen to it now. Now it's smoother and connected because the notes are actually connecting. It doesn't work when two notes are the same side by side, so like they can't overlap if they're side by side. There's a small glide that naturally happens. And I only know this because I've recorded sample instruments where you actually have to do separate takes of notes connected to create that legato feeling. You actually record every note to every other note. That way when two notes are slightly overlapped, they will actually have a little separate sample that triggers. Which is nice. That's why it's quite nice. Cool. Let's see if that actually works at that higher octave. I like that line a lot. If you don't mind, since I don't see any other woodwinds for some reason, he's just all by himself. I think that would really double well with the oboes or the flutes, because it has this nice timbre, but it's kind of buried. That would be buried live because there's just not enough people playing the instruments. So if you don't mind me trying, I'm gonna do oboes. I think would actually cut through really well. They're nasally vibe, literally the same notes. Let's see if that solves it. Let's see. I'm gonna test my luck here. Clarinets, flutes, oboes. I can really do it for all of them. Let's actually just keep that one as is. I don't think that patch is even loaded. Ah, darn. Now, only if you want. go out on a limb and say that does not work because I don't want to add another octave to your piece here. So let me try clarinets instead. That way we can keep the original pitch. Ugh, this is like an ancient sample and I love it, but it's buggy. Too low. I think it's all the things happening at once. It's probably the main volume. Yeah, it's also, that's too low for clarinets. I like it though. If you don't like it, fine. I'm gonna give it a shot. I think it sounds nice. I think flutes will make it rounded out, so the clarinet's not so exposed. It's a nice color. Now let's go to the mix. Yeah, for woodwinds, this is Sonokinetic Woodwinds Ensemble. I love it. It's my go-to for woodwinds. But it's an older library. It's kind of janky, but I love it. Which means it might be cheap. Trying to solve all the MIDI data over here. It's kind of glitching on me. I'm trying to get all these main volumes to click before it starts. That way it doesn't like change the sample instrument like that. This library is also super sensitive to mod wheel, which is good. You get a lot of dynamics out of it. That's sounding good now. We're getting there, guys. Let's go and throw that organ in a big old cave. It sounds nice, but it's just overpowering in all the ways. So this is actually like a horn solo. This is nice. So let's just make a nice little, they have a killer solo horn too. If I don't, one of these companies do. I'm pretty sure it's the 8DO one. Let me find it. I think it's the same library. Because you can do individuals. Surely. Is it not this? Okay, fine. It's not this. One of these has like a really good solo. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Let's see if it's this one. Let's go to Cinebrass Pro. Solo horn. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. No, not that. Dumb. Get out of here. You're not what I wanted. You're not the chosen one. All right, let's do instruments, horn. Yeah, I think it's that one. But you got to keep it, the mod wheel, all the way down to really get. And then just bury it in reverb. And turn the volume down. So this will be a nice little horn solo moment. Methinks. Let's see if I'm right. Very Austin Winnery of you. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't. No, you guys know that already. That I've worked with Austin. Because I did live streams. But he has a lot of solo horn lines. Now, the secret for this, it's similar to the other stuff, right? Where we need to extend all of them to make them legato, except for the first one. Actually needs a small gap. Let's give him like a little bit of breath. See how it kind of glitches when you extend it too far. Now let's add the mod wheel. Actually, I don't want any mod wheel on this. I think it's really lovely all by itself. Actually, just needs more reverb. It's really lovely. Now let's move on to, totally out of order, but whatever. Next we need to do let's get some legato strings for each of the families real quick. So violin 1. We'll just start duplicating these. 2, viola, cello. So this will be V2. Gosh, I need to make track stacks of these. I haven't done it since I've rebuilt the studio stuff, but that would be a really smart idea. That way I can just import my presets. But whatever. Today's not the day for such silly things. It loads pretty stinking fast anyway. I'm not concerned. All right, viola is going to be there. And then cello is there. Now we're all set. So it's pretty fast. I do want to just do 1 for 1 here. Did I already kill the viola? Did you have a viola? Oh, you had a viola, didn't you? Or did you just not write anything for viola? Am I totally missing it? Well, just to be sure. Import that ding dang dong MIDI file again, just to make sure. I can check actually by looking at my stems, but whatever. This is faster. Violas. You did. There, see? So I'm going to be smart and just take them all like this and drag them up. I don't want this intro. This shall be stuck in my head all day. Thank you. Right, now let's get these strings cooperating. So quick trick for this is to just grab the one thing I want to work on. And I'm going to do the mod wheel recording. Oh, I have other stuff. Oh, my bad. That's why it sounded so weird. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I just want to do like a passive mod wheel on this. It's gonna take a minute, so grab some coffee. Kind of keeping this chill. Then it crescendos. Stay crescendo. Here we go. Big melody. Let it sing. I think from there it'll be fine. Keeping it up. And then all I gotta do is take the modulation. Take all of it. Go to the start of the source, which is here. Copy the modulation. Like that. Now in my mix, I'm gonna make second violin slightly less than that, slightly less. It's a little stair steps, usually is how the chords line out. And then if it's too quiet, then I can just take the entirety of it, drag it up and down like that, like a group. But let's hear it in context once I solo all the correct things. Let's get the meat. I want to spread out the stereo image of the pipe organ. I don't want this to be so in our face. Let's do some octaves. Yeah, so what I was using was Ozone Imager, which essentially means that I was taking the pipe organ, which was pretty linear, like forward, centered, and I just spread it out a little bit this way, kind of make more of a V shape with the sound. That way it's not just stealing all of the space. Because when it gets really loud here, I'll solo it for you. So here's with nothing on it. Not bad. Here's with the EQ. And here's with the imager. It's like panning, but it's panning left, right, and center. Exactly. It's turning it more to like a V shape. This keeps it out of the center where all the orchestral stuff's happening. Oh yeah, I never fixed all these chords. Let me mess with this for a little bit. Oh, how many breaths? So these I can solve, excuse me, by getting out the 30-second notes like this. Just kind of making these shorter. Bum, 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 bum. Like most things, just a quick breath is very helpful. Bop, bop, same thing. 30-second notes, just trying to give some room for breath. Anything we can do to help clean this up? Oops, you're not even, can't even see it, I'm sorry. well as shortening these guys. Cool. Now let's do some mod wheel to really help make this more musical. And I think let's just go ahead and give the top line to the trumpets. It'll shine more. Okay, just cut it, paste it. Go. Let's get all this. Nice. What's happening here? I might have to come back to that. But that's the idea. Let's take this mod wheel section here. Ooh, Carson, you gave me a lot to do today. That's okay. This has been fun. Cool. Just getting a little bit too loud here. Just gonna pull it back a little bit, not a ton, but it can't steal the show. It is just harmony. What happened to our violins? Are they muted or something? That's weird. Like, where'd my entire melody go? It vanished. What? Something's going on. That's really strange. Maybe because it's like stuck. I don't know why. Let's reload the patch. Weird. It's like the entirety of Tokyo just decided to stop working. Apparently I gotta go get 2.0. It won't break on me. I don't know. La ya ya da da da. It's a catchy little tune. Good job on this. Okay, let's try again. Kind of lost what's happening here, but this is a good moment to check out the stems. So let's do this, guys. Let's take a quick break just for a couple minutes. Be right back. We'll jump back in, grab some stems, and like really try to get closer to the end here. So thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. All right, friends, welcome back to Live Composing Show. Today we're doing Level Up Live with Carson Peters and his track, Kingdom's Requiem. Remember that if you want to grab your own Level Up Live session, check out stephenmelin.com/level-up-live. Probably should have thought that one through about how to better make that sound. But hey, you know what to do. It's in the live chat or it's in the description below. So hope that can serve some of you guys in the future as we plan out more of these. But yeah, this is going pretty good so far. I think we're over halfway done. Just got to really hone in on the missing ingredients. So let's take a look at the stems that we have and see if there is a way to maybe integrate some of these or just to better understand what's happening in the track. So let me do that first of all. Let's solo the stems. I like the bass drum, actually. I think that's pretty cool. So maybe we can save that. And any like the perk stuff, I think would be worth saving. So let's grab cymbals. Snare. Let's put all those together. I think that'd be nice to keep up here. Let's play around with EQ and stuff. I have a lot of character. Oops, meant to do Pro Q. There it is. That sounds amazing. All right, let's get the snares in there. Cymbals. I like those. Just gotta tame them down a little bit. Okay, let's get reverb to all those. Cool. All right, I'll play ball with the choir soon. What else we got? What's the harp doing? Oh, that's fun. Let's keep that. I didn't even catch that. So cool. Just a little early. I'm gonna try panning it left. There's so much happening there. And harps are usually on the side of the stage anyway. Let's see what else. We're doing all that already. I actually like your trim strings here. I think I'll keep that. Cool, cool, cool. Let's take all that and drag it up. Boom, chakalaka, boom, chakalaka, boom, 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 boom. Cool. Let's just tame these. This is cool, but just way too much. The bass drum stuff. Let's turn it down. These sound super panned. What's going on? I like them. Let's crank them up. Alright, I'm going to make these play a little bit sooner, because they're a little sluggish. Let's do like negative 30 milliseconds. I'll use some tuba. I like that a lot. So I'm going to steal your low brass here. Try to blend it with some of the stuff I've already done. This is like all the background information that is less important to like nail with sample libraries and whatnot, but it adds a lot of color, and I want to keep your original stuff where I can. So one of the things I'm going to do right off the top here, so I'm just going to call this trombone 1, trombone tune. I want all three of these to have some reverb shared. But we'll do just like a smaller amount, maybe like 30. Negative 30, I should say. Are these the same? Okay. I think I might. Don't hate it, but let's see how that feels with all the other brass we've already done. So let's get that in the bass. I bet that'll sound good. I don't see your bass trombone anywhere. as a stem. Oh no. Since they're the same, let's do this. I'd like to create a new instrument. And it's going to be, let's actually build it. It's going to be tuba. Yeah, I saw that. It does play a wrong note. And then bass trombone. Let's get 3 of these bad boys. So we're gonna call this tuba, bass, trombones plus tuba. Let's make that a thing. Tuba, a tuba, tuba, tuba. We'll drag him way down her in our brass ensemble. Such a mess. There we go. A little brass moment. I kind of like your tuba that you've had all along. So let's keep that. Oh, you're saying your tuba has the wrong note. Got it. That's fine. Where is that? There. Okay. We're just going to blend these together. I know. Lots of tracks we're working with here today. Yeah, gotta have some breaths here. Sounds pretty good. bass clarinet. Just caught it. It's a nice color. Really the last thing besides choir is I need to add, I am going to replace the trombones. I don't like them. So, and then I'll get this all organized. We'll wrap it up. I need, excuse me. Let's keep using the same group of instruments here. Basically I just need trombones, legato chords, and then I'll be able to take all of this. Did I do it again? Dang it. There. Okay. That's the same. That's not the same. That is my trombone line. Okay. There we go. So trombones, legato chords. Let's take all of that trombone goodness. Put it there. Let's find here. Let's do instruments, individual. Let's do trombones, legato chordal. So it's 3 trombones. I think it's a good balance. Oof, this is going longer than I expected, but that's okay. We're doing great. Right on schedule. 7th inning stretch. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, here we go. Right, excellent. All right, let's fix the things. The expected things, problems. want to definitely leave space. The solo. There we go. I just shifted that to the bass trombones and tuba. It had a better timbre. Alright, trombones are fine. They just have no breaths. So, and also at the beginning. So let me fix that. So with that, I also need to make everything legato by stretching the ends slightly. So many things I still like to do, but let's do it. Now just turn it way down. It's just too loud. Nice trombones plus organ. That's starting to sound really good. And the flute comes in. That needs a crash cymbal. Oh, you probably already have one. Sorry, I gotta start enabling stuff again. Oh, you gotta have a cymbal there. What are you doing with your life? All right, I'm gonna copy that over. basically I'm going to turn everything down so that that moment can really shine with the solo horn. Assuming you like that, change. This is an EQ for the piano. Add some more reverb to the woodwinds. They're a little close. So right here, these three guys, make them 20. Is that supposed to stay dissonant? Let's get to the good stuff, yeah? Let's combine soprano and alto, tenor and bass. We're gonna have some fun with some choir. It's like a last step here. So this is women. Let's make one for men. I'm gonna say men, ah. Wotan, women, Freya. Spicy. All right. Then for the fellas, let's grab Wotan. And we'll do basses and tenors. Ah. Did I already break it? Ah. I totally broke it already. Sorry. Just got so excited. All right, let's drag these to the bottom. Import that dang MIDI again for like the 10th time. I just get so excited. I erase stuff. All right. And every time I do that, it imports another like layer of MIDI I have to go back and delete later. But anyway. Soprano and alto. All right, here we go. Soprano, alto, boom. And then tenor bass. Shaboom. All right. So let's put them right here. Drag them up. To there. There we go. All the MIDI hath been deleted. And then okie dokie. Let's just do the women. Ugh. Lovely. Now, let's do a bit of mod. Keep jumping ahead. Cool. Great loop. Now we just desperately have to get some breaths in there because it's just so... Choir can go a little bit longer than other instruments, so it doesn't have to be as extreme. Carson, I hope you can hear the difference. Now let's give a similar treatment to the min. Looks like I was actually editing all of them at the same time. Yay, that was smart of me. Yay, go me. Now I just gotta get the mod wheel. Here we go. Actually, I want to be smart because it's all the same. Turn min down a little bit. And then something I like to do in all my choir mixing is to use that same ozone imager and to widen it by about 30% or so. Because what it does is it helps to spread it out to not be so central. Oh, I forgot to put some reverb. They don't need a lot because they're already in a hall. Maybe like 30. So I think bothering me are these bass drum hits. They're kind of randomly coming at weird times. I have an idea. I'm thinking instead of bass drum, we'd be better off with timpani. Just think you'll get more of what you're looking for in that orchestral perk. I said I was going to organize these, but they're still not organized. Whatever. Because time's of the essence. Let me grab my timpani here. And then we'll also get, if we need it, timpani rills, which is next door. There we go. No, 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 no. I'm actually going to use the actual play one because it's a little more subtle. I switched headphones as well to give me more accurate mixing information. If I use my big old Sonys, they have a lot of low end boosting, which is not good for mixing. And that's why everything was kind of tinny. I didn't realize it. Timpani. Here we go. See, I need more dynamic range. And then we're going to throw both of those into just a little bit of ether. I think something like that. This feels like off. I need to adjust that. I've never had to do that before. Anybody else? Interesting. There should be a thing on here for that, for pitch, tune. There it is. Feels about 20 cents flat. Interesting. You must be British. Just kidding. Actually record it. that for the whole thing, but I feel like it adds a lot of low end boom, boom, boom tone. To now my snare feels super thin. Since I haven't heard from Carson, I'm just going to go ahead and add timpani for the B section and stop at the C. But for this one, I'm going to do the roll. That was close. Can't tell what chord this is. Let's do an experiment. This is not always a good idea, but it's worth trying. It seems to work sometimes, to some degree. Clears out some of the mud. Ooh, I don't like that chord. I feel like that needs to resolve. Boom, boom, boom. But you just don't, and it's your piece, so. Whoa. Everything's so much brighter now. All right, my friend. Let me change headphones. Mr. Carson, I feel like we're done for the day. Now, by all means, you can certainly go from here. I think for simplicity, let's just leave it right there. I'm going to export out the master, which is everything put together. And then from there, I'm also going to export each individual stem so that you have each of those as well. It's looking good, feels good. There might be like 5% more that can be done without, you know, radically changing parts and instruments and stuff, but I think it's very close. And the goal here is to export it with 2 additional bars. That way we have all this nice reverb tail. And then in the future, when you want to create a loop, I would just deliver it as 2 separate tracks, but like one with a reverb tail, one without. Sounds pretty good. It keeps everything clear. Now that I've changed headphones, it's like, it sounds even better. Very full and rich. Kind of has that chugging pulse. So yeah, I hope you're happy with it. It sounds like you at least learned one thing. And that's always the goal with these types of things. So I am going to play out the final track here, and then I'll export your stems and such, which is actually really easy within a new window, which is awesome. The only problem is they have to be mastered stems, which takes a little bit longer because it has to like run through the whole chain. But hopefully that's valuable for you. And unless you want something otherwise, I'm going to downsample from 96K 32-bit down to 48K 24-bit. That way you have everything in equal sections, and it'll look and feel good. And that way when you import it all, it'll all look a little bit cleaner than this. And if you want, I can give you the MIDI as well of what I did and changed, but it's more or less your MIDI. Just changed a few things here and there. But anyway, hope you like it. Yeah, and for anybody else that would like to do their own Level Up Live, go to stephenmelin.com/level-up-live. It's link in the description below. You can come do one of these for yourself. I'd love to hear what you guys are working on, and if I can help in any way, I'm here for that. And I love producing as much as I love writing, so hopefully this is fun for you guys, a little change up. And I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your day. So here we go. Let's play out what we have for our final mix for Kingdom's Requiem by Carson Peters. Here we go. Enjoy. Wait a second. I did not do this properly. You're supposed to do, you know, like the house shows. You're supposed to do the before and the after. Ah, come on. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? So let's do this, because I hit it. It's like the purpose. The before and after. My bad. My bad. So let's try this again. This might take a little bit of effort. Boom, boom. Okay, so here was the original. Just for fun, I'm going to make one of those videos where I do every 4 bars. I'll go back and forth between the two. That way we can actually hear it side by side. That'd be kind of cool, huh? Anyway, we went quite the distance today, especially like this section. Is there something else playing? I don't think there is. I think that's literally the mix. It's so loud. Yuck. Why? Oh. Yeah, we came a long way today. Okay, it's just nice to be reminded. All right, here we go. So back to as we play out here. Here's my version of Kingdom's Requiem by Carson Peters. Enjoy and goodbye.